We are we're talking today all about Facebook for fitness business and how to get yourself a little bit more successful with the time you're spending. So all of us know it's a rabbit hole we go down really easily. You can easily jump in, click on, get on Facebook thinking you're going to spend 10 minutes and spend an hour just as easily. Maybe not you. Maybe you're the exception to the rule. But in case that is you, as this is in part what we're going to talk about. There's some secrets to using Facebook wisely. And part of that is about deciding what is your purpose? Why do you want to be there? So I would suggest for you that you answer these questions and think about what is my primary motivation for being here on Facebook. And it might be some of or a percentage of all of the above. Check which ones first are right for you. Are you there to engage your current audience, meaning your customer base, those people who are paying you money and also who are liking you on Facebook? Are you trying to engage them further and go deeper? In that case, a group is a great place to do it. Really, because you can cater to them, you can make that public, but actually making it private makes it a little bit more exclusive, and there may be a reason why you want to do one or the other. Increasing your potential customers. So that's a big reason. Probably 99% of people who have a business are on Facebook would be here. We want to increase the potential customers that we have. People who haven't walked in our door if we have a brick and mortar business, or who haven't found us from, say, a web search, and yet they might be a friend of someone who is a fan on your Facebook page and find you because you're sharing savvy, funny information that they want to share because it makes them look good. That'd be a way that we increase our potential customers. You want to grow your email list. So this is a kind of a secondary goal, because you first have to grow the number of potential customers on your page and get them to come to our email list. So the real value in Facebook is not the superficial value of making the number of your fans or friends climb, but it's making the number of your ideal prospect customers and clients, the ones who will love you and everything that you do, and who will be extremely satisfied customers if they begin with you. You want that customer. So 5,000 of just a lot of people from anywhere really is not as effective as 500 of the right people, or even 50 of the right people for that matter. So it's thinking about how would you grow that. Because the majority of marketing still and selling is done on email better, that's why you'd want to grow your email list. Now, there is a growing number of people who are selling directly on their Facebook. You can click here and buy the service or the product. The suggestion is that in the next 5 years, that's going to grow. Partially because we don't have time to look around. We're actually there to get serious. And if we like a brand, we like something, we might be more inclined to just buy right from it. But right now, we're not quite there. And depending on who you serve, I cater a lot to the 50 and over market, and they're going to want to get to know me better for a lot longer period of time before they're going to buy. If you have a younger crowd, they may jump right in. So think about your customer and what you need to do in order to actually make a sale. You might want to make direct sales from that Facebook page, and that's what we just mentioned, those two. Target your page fans and their friends with ads. So everything to this point has really talked about free or very low fee. You may have to spend time and a little money and energy to make things look good that you post on Facebook, but we weren't talking about anything to do with spending money. Now, that's always going to be an objective for people who truly want to grow in a big way. And you, instead of posting your sale item necessarily directly to your Facebook page, you would target through an ad. So you'd actually go into the ads manager, create an ad, and you'd target your people who like your page and friends of that page. Or you might target people who don't like your page because you want to reach other people and get more likes on your page as well, which happens by default, which is nice when you are advertising for a product or service. Any of those are reasons. What I suggest to you is that you think about strongly right now, and it may change if you're a young business versus a more mature business, but what is your primary? What's the number one goal you want to do with Facebook? What's the number two goal? And if you're not on Facebook to generate revenue in some way or have something to do with it, my question to you would be, why are you on it? For business, because you probably have other things that are more productive for you. So first things first. So a lot of this is from, and some of you may have come from, the American Business or Athletic Business Conference in New Orleans. Much of this is from my presentation there, though not all of it. It's bits and pieces and some new parts as well. But this image will be familiar to you if you were in my presentations there. First things first. So as you start posting things, what you need to know is there's a next step. There needs to be some objective in everything you put up. What do you want the fan or the friend to think, feel, or do next? How do you want them to be changed? So there's no random acts of posting if you're a business. Now, if you're on your personal page, post whatever you want to, right? But we really don't have that kind of time or want to waste the opportunity if you have eyeballs who are a prospect on your content. We really want it to say exactly who you are, what you do, how you can help. So you want to make sure you're thinking about, what is my objective here? It's not just posting something funny, although that occasionally might be just it, because you want someone to like, comment, or share it, because that encourages Facebook to show you to more people. Those kinds of things are gold. A like is like getting a bronze medal. A comment is like getting a silver medal. And the gold medal is when they share. Because if they share, they probably have done something else also. They've also commented. And that helps you the most. Facebook looks at that and says, oh, you're really relevant. People love your content. So I'm going to show you to more people like that because people like you. And if nobody's engaging with any of your content, post less of that kind of content because it's actually hurting you. Nothing that you post is neutral. So it either helps you or it hurts you. And it may be 49 and 51, but it's on one side or the other. So if you don't have much action engagement, try to find some good friends who will be angels for you for a little bit and get the ball rolling. Social proof is very valuable. But that first things first refers to when you have someone go to your page and see something they like and share it, do they have a website to go to? Is there a URL you're asking them to go to? Or did you tell them, please comment, share your comment below, or please share this with someone else if you know someone who needs this message? You be ready. So the front door was beautiful back here, right? So it was all decorated. Be that ready. Be warm and welcoming to the next step. Do something with it. Have something more. And here's an example of what I mean. When I share a post, I have my URL for, say, my homepage on my website. And if I'm serving my after 50 females, this is what they'll see. Do you want more energy and less fatigue after 50? In order to get the habits of high energy, lean, productive women, take this 2-minute quiz. So it's a capture for an email. So I'm going to be able to market to them, talk to them, nurture my relationship with them much more in control if I have their email address than if I don't. And if you don't have something of value, they can easily unsubscribe, and that's okay. You actually want somebody off your list who you're not helping, right? But you want to know that's information. If you're continually posting things and losing people at a steady rate, as much so as you're gaining, let that tell you, this is not a great fit for the customer that I'm attracting. So what needs to change here? But do have a place where you are on purpose thinking about, how do I want them to engage? Maybe you're directing them to a blog page. Maybe you're directing them to a landing page that is just about a product or a service you've talked about, but do have a what's your next step? What's your reason? So when they enter, they click something. So on the left side of this screen, you're seeing this is a landing page I often send people to instead of to my homepage, specifically to a market who wants more information. They click on the active link, and where they go to is this to sign up for the Active Aging Secrets. So you have an email subscribing format. You're using maybe Constant Contact, MailChimp, or you're using Aweber, any number of others. And you create a web form on it. So they sign up for a specific list. That's where these two things get connected. That's the value of having a website with a web page that leads them into something so that they sign up for an email. If you feel like a good fit for them, if they like your content on Facebook, then of course they would probably be a very good match for what else you do. And they want more. They want more of you. So the integration looks like this. You've got a social media fan. You've earned that. They like your page. You want to bring them over to being an email subscriber, because a subscriber is that much closer to someone who's becoming a customer. And that's what we're all after, right? Is helping more people by offering something of value. So how do we actually use Facebook best to do this? So a couple of things are really important in terms of, it's like getting dressed in the morning. If you're going to go do a presentation or you're going to go teach a class, you probably think about who you are, what your image is, or what you want to portray, or how you want to feel dressed in that clothing. The same thing is true of branding. So the timeline on your Facebook page is at the top of the page. That should reflect what it is that you do, the services that you provide, the issues that you work with, or the audience that you help. And it should say something about who you are, what message you deliver. These are 3 examples from 2 different pages. So if some of you are on my fitness business page, you've seen this one. It's been up a lot. Not a favorite of mine, but it actually was a favorite of customers for whatever reasons. So it's black. It's evidently we all like skin because there's a lot of it showing here. And yet it says specifically attract, sell, and keep more paying clients now. And I suggest to you that have an image, or you can see this is 3 different images coming together for one timeline, and have some words that also describe who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. That gives a little why to somebody who might land on your page. Why you? Why would I want to like this page? So fitness comes in all shapes and sizes, a little buried under there. Love yours now. And that was a great, well-received message by my clients, that I coach is hidden under here in the vegetables, but hormones, exercise, eats, stress, sleep, recovery, all some of the areas that I cover in my book and my coaching, my webinars. So reveal who you are. If you have a tagline behind your business name, this is a good place to put it in apps. That's where down along the side you might have, there's a videos app or a notes app. Don't let Facebook put the generic logo or name in there, but put an image. So if you have the vegetables in your timeline, you might want to go put the vegetables in your, free recipes app so that they match and they let people know. Very similarly, hopefully, if they go to your website, I'm in the right place. People like to get that congruent message and know, okay, she's got, athletes on this page and, she's got vegetables on that page. Does that go together? I don't feel like I'm in the right place. That feels strange to them. So they want to feel comfortable, even though they're on keyboard. It matters. So try to get those pieces congruent. And then I would recommend change these frequently. Right now we're in the holidays. I happen to have up on mine, I have on one of mine a brand new book that just came out last month, but on the other, I have Happy New Year. So obviously, I'm going to be changing that on Saturday to something else that reflects probably, the demand that we're going into in January, right? Some kind of resolution, solution, healthy, fresh eating, new exercise, some new beginning image should be probably on all of ours, and or feature a program if you need to, but change it seasonally, at least, and don't just leave it up there as your logo. Let it be something that lets people dream or believe or know who you are. Remember, above all, to make everything that I'm about to tell you effective, remember why people go to Facebook. Women specifically, and by the way, the numbers on Facebook are pretty even. It's about 49 and 51 men and women, and it goes back and forth depending on when you look at it. So, although you may think there are more women on it and they may be more active on it, as many men are on it. So, um, remember why they're there. Women in particular go to connect with friends. They connect with family members. There are a lot of posts this last few weeks about families, pictures of families around the Christmas tree, around dinner tables, and, great fellowship kinds of images coming up all over. That's what people love. They love to connect with their friends. So remember that they are liking business pages, but what do they want to see? They are not going to your business page to look at it like they're looking at a website. Once they like your page, they just see things you're putting in your timeline. So even if you were a brick and mortar building, they're not going to go and look for posts about classes. They're not going to go and look unless they are looking for a sale and they know that you post information about sales only. And that's a perk of being a fan, that you'll get first notice of those. They may use it that way, but they really want to look good. So they want to be funny, savvy, smarter, sexier. We all want that image of ourselves, a better us, to come out and be portrayed by the things that we like and share with others on Facebook. So think about your content. If it's too preachy, if your message is too preachy or too out there, will someone share that? Does it make them look good if they shared it? And if it doesn't, try to steer your message with a different slant or angle. Usually it's that. It's not you have to throw away what you thought you were going to post, but it's that you need to appeal to the person who will potentially share it because they like it. It makes them laugh or it evokes some strong emotion. Think about that in any blog, any video, any meme. That's just a colorful image, or it might be a picture with a quote on the top of it. Anything that you share other people's content. This also helps you get shown to more people in Facebook. So I know a lot of owners, especially some more mature owners, who tell their people monitoring them, don't share. Why are you sharing other people's stuff? Tell them that you're doing it to grow the page. So of course you wouldn't share your competitor next door or down the street or across town's information. But you could share, a hairdresser or a barber or a dentist or a doctor or, multiple other things related to wellness and nutrition and stress relief, as long as they weren't competing with your own services, because the like-mindedness of that content will attract, and you will be seen as the authority and the expert and the connector for all of those things. If someone's looking for, who's the best massage therapist, they may ask you if you're posting things like that. So don't be afraid to share other people's content. Maybe 1 to 4. You post 3 things of your own quotes, images, blogs, videos, and you share something from someone else in your timeline. Schedule around the clock. Remember that people who are looking at your Facebook page at 6 in the morning before they go to work while they're drinking their coffee are probably not also on, at potentially 4 p.m. or at 10 p.m. So you don't want to double share. You can't do that like you can on Twitter, meaning post the same thing again. But you do want to post things, for different populations that you might serve. If you serve both older adults and you serve youth athletes and you serve college age students and you serve moms with kids in the nursery, you have a lot of potential things you need to post around the clock. Those people, some of them get up early, but some of them stay up late. Some of them work all day and maybe they're on their Facebook page in the afternoon, but maybe they're not until evening. And that is probably the most popular time, 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m., almost anywhere for females, particularly between 60 or between 40 and 60. That's a popular time. People sit and relax at night with their, laptop in their lap while they might be doing something else. And that's when they catch up. So it's a great time to post, but don't ignore the other times of day. Brand your timeline and app. We talked about those images. So it attracts your target and it may not be your logo. And I say that tongue in cheek. It's really not your logo. So put a logo in a small corner of that if you want to include it so people know they're in the right place. That could be valuable. Or use your logo colors. For instance, if your colors are in the logo, might be primary colors like red, yellow, and blue. Use those when you choose your timeline background or your app background or the meme backgrounds that you post most frequently or the font color. Use your brand colors. And that is another way to suggest this is you. So when they see you in the timeline, they'll know, oh, I'm going to pay attention to that because that's my club. That's my trainer. Use quizzes, use polls, ask versus preach is the idea. So we know that the answers we get may not be the answers that we agree with, but the point is give people a voice. If you ask them, what's your biggest challenge around, and if you are a fitness professional, it's going to be around getting the exercise in, or what is your biggest challenge around, finding time to, unwind and relax. When do you do that or how do you do that? What is your optimal number of hours of sleep a night? Just asking questions like that, some open-ended and some with, a single answer, or give them the option of yes or no, please comment below. And all you may get may be a yes, but if that's a comment, that actually helps your Facebook page and engagement goes up, and that helps you grow and organically without any money spent. And that's hard to do on Facebook. So when you get engagement, you're doing something right. Drive them to a place where you have a next step. So that's all about that front door. Know what you want them to do with every post. And you can optimize, probably if you went back and you looked at every post you did last week, think about how could you have asked a question instead of places where you made a statement? Even just agree with a question mark, or just agree, disagree. What are your thoughts? Those things help increase engagement. And it may be little, but imagine if you did that 100 times, a little bit, what a difference that would make to your page. Think about your posts in this way. With every post, does it make them more of the person they want to be? Remember, we all want to be funnier. We want to, be the person who disseminates great information or shares the first key thing. Does it make them clever, funny, resourceful, savvy, smart, helpful? If the answer is yes, post it. And if the answer is no, how can you tweak it so that it does? Is there a way that you can do it? And a lot of times when I see posts by fitness professionals, it's a just miss. The image is good, the quote is good, but the tone of voice is maybe a little harsh and it's preaching instead of, leading by attraction. Use comments or the opportunity for them to comment and share. Let them coach each other and watch what happens. So let's get into this. So here's the anatomy of a good post. So you've all seen, what a post looks like, and that's all this is a screenshot of a post. And I'm giving you the pieces that I use that has grown my page too. It's about 22,000 right now from last August, where I started at 800. You're right. So, and a little bit of that is advertising, but not too much. So you can see that down below. Can you see where boost unavailable is grayed out down there? That's because I got my hand slapped. It's hard to be in our industry with diet, nutrition, fat burning talk, and toe the line with what they want in advertising. So it's easy to get your advertising account suspended, which is what happened to me. So I can't boost posts. I can't advertise on this account. So I'm growing organically. And it's because I have hit a sweet spot for what works. So if you want some of these, steal them, take them. So at the top of every post, I start with you use the ampersand sign, the at, and you type in your page, and your URL for your Facebook page pops up. Just put that right in there, because every time someone shares that, then you come up, and you just want that front and center all the time. I'm sharing a video here. So native video is gold. And that just became possible in 2015. So if anyone on the call right now is trying to still share your link from YouTube, stop, because it's hurting you. And here's what happens by comparison. If, say, within about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you post your native video, and that just means upload it directly from your iMovie or your QuickTime directly to your Facebook business page, and then you did the same video exactly from a YouTube link, the number of views and the number of people you'd reached by the native video would have been probably about 400% bigger, no matter what your number is, how big or small, with the native video. So Facebook wants to play well with Facebook. Facebook wants you to use Facebook. Facebook doesn't want to play well with YouTube. So it wants to promote itself. So now that it allows you to do native video, it's an awesome tool. So be sure you're using it, and don't hurt yourself by using YouTube videos on Facebook. And just a side note, absolutely, you can post the same video in both places, and that won't hurt you. In fact, it will help you. You're going to find a different kind of customer and prospect on YouTube than you might on your Facebook page. So, and if someone isn't on your Facebook page and doesn't see you in their timeline, organically, they might type in a question and you'll pop up with the video you have on YouTube, whereas you may not on Facebook. So always include your at your page. I put native video that solves a customer problem. So active ones like this, so I'm actually demonstrating some exercises here, probably much better than head and shoulder shots, though I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of that. That doesn't mean I can break my own bad habits, but if you're doing exercise videos, showing technique, showing how to, and we're coming into a great month to do that, those get viewed. And you know how it works, scrolling through, they start playing automatically. And that, if someone stays and watches it, helps you and increases Facebook's ability or want to show you to other people, more people that are on your fan list. So I also put a URL directly on the video, or I'll put a URL directly on any image I share. And that's also key. You want people to know who you are, where to find you, and put a call to action page. So that's a call to action. It's my web page. So at that home page, they're going to see where to enter. If they liked what I said, how I taught, tone of my voice, maybe they liked my shoes or my dog, they might enter their email, and that's what I want them to do. So another example, this is an example of a meme that I created, just, kind of going in and spending a little time. It takes some time to use, great words and quotes. This one happens to be from Eleanor Roosevelt. By the way, quotes from famous people that are inspiring, and of course, hit your brand. If you're dealing with men who are in their 20s and 30s, you're going to choose different quotes than you might for women who are in their 60s. So think about what quotes will resonate. But just quotes on a colorful background is goes a long ways. I have that colorful image at the top of this that you can't see. I would have had my URL to my Facebook page there again. Colorful, I might have used this color because it kind of goes with bright colors in the same tone for my brand. It's not exactly, my color, but it works with that same tone. Always add your URL for your website on an image. And this is the third or the fourth time that I posted this, in 4 months. So once you have a content, you have a base or a file that you're using for your Facebook pages, you can go back and you can post them again. Some people will do about every month. They'll just cycle through the same content again, figuring people don't remember. They see so much on Facebook that they don't remember, but if they liked it once and you're attracting new people, they're going to like it again. But look at this. So in the fourth time I've used it, that many people reached, a lot of likes, and 23 shares. And that's big. So getting a lot of shares, if you have, just say 8,000 people on your page, you want to get, 23 shares is pretty good. If you had, 100,000 people, 23 shares isn't bad, but it's not great. But the more of that you get, the better. So it's okay results as far as likes go, but even more, the shares are super valuable because you get shown to more people. So remember, look for the things that get good results. Keep those things that got great results in a separate file. So, call it these are my viral things, and I should use them, but not too often. Anatomy of a good post. This is an evergreen post, right? So I, again, use the same kind of a format. Always, at your page goes first. I always add my URL. No matter how you look at it, I added a comment there, so the image stays the same. Every time I post this, it's the most flexible cat usually wins. Happy Monday. And I always post that, on a Monday, but it might be once a month. I don't post it every single Monday, but I did just post it this last Monday. And again, it's very popular. People like things that acknowledge Mondays, or it's Friday, or it's hump day. Holidays, of course, you're going to use some of those things again. People won't remember what you posted last year. So keep files. Once you create things, you don't have to do that over and over again. You may want to, you may have some new content, but you don't have to use your time over and over if it was effective in the first time. This is an example of a holiday, not a holiday, but a national day. So go and just Google, events and, days of the year, and you'll get all kinds of things that tell you the year, different weeks in the year, and months. So as a giveaway for you right now, January is oatmeal month and it is soup month. So great excuse for, posting soup recipes all month with great soup images. And here's a clue. You don't have to make the soup. You just have to make the post. So you go around and scour, find some great soup recipes that you like and that have ingredients that you would promote for good health, and share those. And there would be probably a lot of pages that share just soup recipes that don't even care what's in the ingredients. I care, but you decide who you are. And, keep reinstating it's National Soup Month. And then maybe at the end of the month, you provide a collection of the soup recipes you've shared all month in your blog. That's a great way to use content, just a great way to extend and repurpose some of the same content. Ice cream, National Ice Cream Day. Now, does that have a lot to do with fitness? No, but, as fitness professionals, we want to promote a balanced life. So, I still thought this was appropriate. And then in it, my post with this was, do you eat ice cream? Can you? Are you lactose intolerant? Or what do you do if you want that for a treat? And we brought that up as a healthy discussion. You might ask something as simple as, what's your favorite flavor? And there's nothing right or wrong, but think about what will be true and congruent with your audience. Another post that's evergreen. So I gave you Monday, I give you Friday, right? So this is actually a little fox that walks by my house, and he walked by about 10 minutes ago, ironically. So it's a happy Friday in case no one mentioned it yet today. You are a fox. I post this about once a month also. I always get a lot of likes on it. People love wildlife. So if you have a picture of something happening in wildlife or a beautiful image, and you talk about gratitude or attitude, that is related, somehow to fitness. At least for my audience, we talk about it from the inside out, mind, body, and soul all the way. So think about ways that you can do this. So again, this is evergreen. It goes in my evergreen file. I can use it again. Now, if I created something for Valentine's Day in 2015 and I put the date on it, February 14th, that'll work. But if I put 2015, that won't work, right? Pi Day. And I think in 2014 or 15, I said 3/14/14 in my image, and realized later what a mistake I'd made, because I can't use that again, right? So I've got to go back and create a new one. So think about what you're doing if you're dating things. The native video to Facebook for ads and or posts. So you can now, if you are doing an ad, you go to the ads manager to create an ad, you can upload a video, which would mean you'd create a special video that is for a product or a service, or maybe you're only doing an ad for page likes, and that would be, an option. Or inviting people to a free webinar, or to download your free book to get more information so they do come on your list. Video is king, no matter how you use it. Whether you use it in free posts to expose yourself to more people, or you use it to drive people to a product that you want to sell. 90% of trainers still don't explore it and use it consistently. So there's random acts of posting video going on. But here's what I'd love you to think about if you really want to use video well, is think about twice a week posting a 2 to 3 minute video that is, either you demonstrating an exercise and proper technique, what to do, what to avoid, how it should feel, what you don't want to feel, and why you would want to do this exercise. As simple as that. Probably something that would be easy for you to do 10 of them in a row, and then just have 5 weeks of content ready for you. But things that small, as long as you put them on your calendar to do consistently, will help your page grow dramatically. So this is the Facebook cheat sheet. So these are things I would suggest that if you want to be successful on Facebook for your business, to do, use images 99% of the time that stand out. So invite you to do this. Go to your timeline, your own personal timeline, and just scroll through it and think about all that you're seeing, all the color, all of the, background color and the font color, all of the images, and think about what not to do. Think of those things as what not to do and what would stand out. Brendan Burchard, some of you may find that name familiar. So a great online marketer, has been kind of an emerging soul for the last 5 years, and he's all over. He will choose to use black and white. Use white print on black background, sometimes the opposite, because everything else is so colorful that when you're scrolling through, his kind of stops you in your tracks because it's the anomaly. So think about that. How can you stand out? Maybe by having more white space in your message and just one big word. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's an image that's always in the background, and you place your message on half the page and the other half is solid color or image. But if you can figure out something that makes yours unique and distinct, That's what you're after. Don't blend in. You want to stand out. Brand your page and your posts. Goes back to using your color. It may be putting your logo in the corner, but better yet, use those brand colors. Use the same font. Use that Facebook page, your URL for action. So be ready in every single post. That's the biggest mistake many people make. So here's how it works. If you post an image that's got a great quote on it, and I really like it, but it doesn't have your URL on it, I can just share that and you get no credit. It never comes back to you. So you get a little, juice from Facebook for having the share, but my friends who see that post don't know it came from you. I can kind of claim it as my own if I want to. So share, but make it yours. When you're sharing other people's information, if I were sharing something that, say, Life Fitness put up, I might say, thanks at Life Fitness. So I tag them kind of in my post basically for this great share. And I would add a comment. So I make it mine. I interpret. I also do that if I disagree with something or someone's posted something and I want to go a little deeper for my audience and say, I'd also like you to think about this. This is great advice, but take it one step further. And here's another thought. That's how I make it mine. And you should do the same with yours. Provide value. So that should go without saying, right? But there are a lot of things that are shared on Facebook that maybe aren't about value. If they don't add value to your customer, remember you only get so much time in front of their face. And if you don't give them something to like, comment, and share, you stop being shown to them. Even though they like you, only about 2% of the people who like our pages are shown our things unless they're actually engaging with you. So remember that it's a conversation. Engagement matters more than anything. So it's not you just talking at them, just telling them what you're doing, but it's you asking for feedback. It's you asking their opinion. So try to get this two-way situation going as opposed to one. What would you say to a stranger that you want to become a friend? It's a great question because a lot of the people who will like your page are not necessarily customers. Sometimes we talk too much, especially brick and mortar businesses, about what's already going on in our business that we think they want to know, like our group fitness schedule or our newest small group personal training sessions that are coming up. And yet that's a little bit too much about the inside story, assuming someone already is ready to buy or is in your services, participating in them. What do the people who need to just know what you stand for and who you are, what do they need to hear from you? So provide good information. Remember, maybe they're not exercising yet. They haven't selected a trainer to work with or feel safe with yet. What will make them feel safe? What do you need to do? So remember, you're dating them, right? So don't ask them to get married, meaning don't ask them to buy the 35 session package right away. But what do they need to know about how to get started with exercise? Maybe they need to know, should I stretch or shouldn't I? And when I stretch, if I'm supposed to, do I do it before, in the middle? Do I do it after? Those kinds of things would be great content to include. You don't want everybody, but you do want your target. So think of everything that you put on your Facebook page or write an article about, a blog about, or a video about to filter. So you want to attract the right people. And if you're not attracting the right people, people who engage and like and join your email list, change your strategy so you're a little bit more effective. If you're curious about anything that I've said and you want to talk a little bit more specifically about your page or have me put my eyes on your page while we're on the telephone and give you some feedback or help, a couple things that you can do. Send me an email, Deborah@voiceforfitness.com for next week, not this week any longer, but for next week, 3 days and times that might be good for you to talk, and I'll try to match that. Or like my page, my personal page, Deborah Atkinson on Facebook, and then ask me to join your business page. So that's kind of the start of how you would do it. If you have a personal page and then you're building the business page, you do want to grow your friends, and then invite the friends who will find your business page relevant to come over and like that business page, and do that regularly. Keep coming back weekly or at the minimal, monthly, and invite more of your friends to come over and help them realize, this is where I talk about this. This is where I talk about the how to's and the what to's and the why to do things. So I'd love you to come over here so we can have that conversation. And this is where you can avoid the boring stuff about my family and our, family reunion. And those are ways to do it. So you can do the same with me. So like me personally, you can invite me to like your fitness page, and I will do that. And, and then you can message me if you'd rather go that route, but I'd be glad to give you 15 minutes. So thank you so much for being here. If you have a question or a comment you want to add right now, I'll hang around for about 30 seconds. And if you want to put it down below, please do. Great time to ask a question if you've got one, something that comes up for you, something we didn't hit. It's a bottomless pit, right? There are a lot more things that we could have talked about, but we only have so much time, and you can only absorb, right, so much at once. So we stopped. Okay. So I'm not getting any questions right now for the group or anything that anyone wants to ask out loud. So if you have them, they come up for you later, connect with me privately, and I will be happy to help you. And I wish each and every one of you a prosperous, happy, and healthy new year. There's never been a better time to be in the personal training and in the fitness industry. And there's an abundance of people out there who need your help. So no matter what, if you're getting some pushback and you have those hard days, you have those frustrating days, keep going. You're going in the right direction. Happy New Year, everybody.